Hello, ladies and gentlemen, the real estate professional Jerry Boyles here. Thank you so much for watching. So, doing a little recap here now, January, February of 2021 versus last year. I want to give you guys my comments. So, primarily focusing now on inventory and the impact it's having on our market. I'm going to look at active number of sales and the number of the active number of listings and number of new listings, and kind of give you guys my thoughts on how it might impact our market now going through the rest of 2021. So, number of active listings 2020 versus 2021. 699, 646, January, February 2020. This year, 573, 584. Might be best to turn the phone on silent before we start this sort of stuff. Number of new listings, 2020 versus 2021, 133, 130, 2020 versus 130, 118. So what's gone on is we have a pretty significant 18 and 10% respectively decline in number of active listings. Number of new listings this year versus last year is not changed too much. But when you look at this, 215, 166, that's January, February 2019, that's down 40 and 30% respectively. So you can see that we still have significantly reduced inventory from past years. And if I went back even further to 2013, those numbers will be significantly different. So a few takeaways I kind of want to get you prepped for as we start to move through the rest of this year. My experience with buyers is that we're having a really hard time finding houses for purchasers. Sellers are not really even getting the activity that you would expect, but I believe what's gone on with the most recent last few weeks with the pandemic level alert 5 is the buyers are sitting on the sidelines, and so the number of overall viewings is low, but the quality of the prospects, the people that are out looking, is very, very high. Buyers appear to be willing to wait. So it'll be very, very interesting to see as we move into April, May, June, July, as we have our typical season improvement of weather, that like how much does inventory grow, and do buyers come out of the woodworks because of the fact that the Alert 5 has kind of kept them set on the fence. I personally believe that it's going to be very, very energized summer. Two things I wanted to talk about: new construction and how it's fitting into the rest of the market, and then where prices are going to go. New construction has been very, very soft for the last couple of years. In 2013, we had 1,481 single-family new homes constructed. Last year, we had 407. So decline of 72%. 2020, I'm looking at 2020 versus 2019. So 2019 had 451, 2020 had 407, a decline of 10%. We obviously won't have figures for the whole year this year because we're only 2 months in. But the big thing I think is that new construction suffered because slow construction times because of the pandemic reduced how they are able to construct homes with the number of tradespeople inside the homes. Material costs skyrocketed and increased costs. And so those numbers had downward pressure. However, this year, again, we had this sort of now prolonged low inventory environment. And so I sort of suspect that we'll see those numbers rise a little bit as people sort of look in the resale market, can't find what they're looking for, and then decide to build to fill that inventory requirement. The last piece I want to talk about was prices. Last year, St. John's, we saw prices rise about 4.5% in single-family homes. It probably doesn't take a genius to guess that we should see upward pressure on prices this year if the trend continues with super low inventory and very low interest rates. That's what drove those upward trends last year. If you look across the rest of the country, you've seen a much, much more exaggerated version of that, but here our underlying metrics are not the same. But if you've got a soft price increase because interest rates are low and inventory is low, and then that persists, I suspect we'll see a couple percent increase this year as well. So January, February 2021. So now what the real interesting piece is going to be, finish out the quarter and then move April, May, June of this year and take that as a comparison for last year, because last year the numbers were totally skewed, given that it was a pandemic. So it'll be very interesting to compare that year over year. Anyway, guys, hope you found a little bit of numbers interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in next month. Cheers.